Hi there, welcome back to the channel. We are sitting on top of Artemis, our Seaward 26 arcade. As promised, we're going to make a quick video showing some of the improvements we have to make to swap over from the CDI Furler to the Harken. And so a couple things. First of all, this boat really only has set up for 2 halyards. We have a couple clutches here, and then really the 2-block organizer. So to go to the 3rd halyard for the Jib Halyard, we're going to be swapping this out. This is a Garhauer line organizer, and check this out. They have the exact same version, but for 4. So basically, we're going to be replacing this with the one for 4. So, and then, better put this somewhere where it will not fall off. Coming back here, we currently have the set of 2 spinlock clutches. And so I did some research and found out that you can buy a set of 3 spinlock clutches with the same bolt pattern as these guys. So basically what we're going to end up doing is we're going to remove the 2 and we'll put the 3 in, the 3rd one being closest to the center line of the boat. Currently this will fits inside our Dodger, so we don't necessarily want to go out in that direction. So yeah, so those are really a couple of improvements we need to make. We will be running the Jib Halyard inside the mast, and we are going to be most likely, right now we have a set of the 2 carbo blocks from Harken that we use to control the lines up there by the winch. We're going to upgrade that to a 3. So good deal. So we'll get going here. Awesome. Okay, so I have my beautiful assistant up on the deck. She will be basically holding the top of the kind of more of a screw head for the bolt, and then I'm going to be going down below and basically using the ratchet to kind of get it off. So we have 4 screws on this, so 2 in the back, 2 in the front, and so it should be fairly easy to take off, so I don't see a problem. So nice thing about it is that as we go down below, we have the screws, the nuts readily available down here. So yeah, we'll go take them off real quick and see how it goes. Awesome. So we got the nuts off from down below. So I think the trick now is going to be most likely to screw these guys up from above. So we're going to kind of go there and do one at a time and then get them all out. So fun job done by, again, my most beautiful assistant, my wife. Awesome. Okay, so I had to help Kathy out a little bit. These screws are on here really good. So good, actually. We actually grabbed the ratchet here to kind of help us get them out. So Kathy's being our great camera person again, so definitely appreciate that. And so we'll kind of get these out. So, okay, fab. Okay, so finally, these bolts were incredibly hard. So in theory, they're all loose. The question is, will this thing come off? Or how is it attached? That's going to be an interesting question because I don't necessarily see what's actually holding them in place right now. So there is a good possibility that somebody used some kind of 5200, which that would be bad actually if they did do that. So yeah, so very good question as to what is holding this clutch up right now. So because all the bolts are out, so okay, well it looks like I'm gonna have to do a little investigation and see what's going on here, because this is pretty solid there. I mean, it's not even close to moving. So, well, the fun of boat ownership. So let's see what's going on. Awesome. So we have kind of disassembled the clutch as much as possible. And it looks to me like most likely this is like 4200 or something, because it is stuck on here good. There's no moving it. I do have this, they sell this marine formula like Debond that allows this stuff to kind of goop up and be disassembled. We'll see if we can get this to work. So my goal right now is to kind of spray this area in here on the top side and then wait a few minutes and spray it again and see if we can get some of the goop to start melting some of the stuff away. And we'll just go from there. So yeah, so we'll report back here in 2 seconds. Awesome. So we have literally taken the clutch apart to its component pieces, and holy cow, this thing was definitely stuck on there pretty good. We're thinking, looks like it has to be like some kind of 5200 or 4200. I mean, it was on there super good. I still don't have the top one done. I'm hoping now that I got the bottom one off that maybe this top one will come off also. But as you can see, it's pretty hardly in there. So we have been literally just poking at it. We've been spraying the Debond stuff, and we are almost there. But as you can tell, still no cigar. We're just looking at even places just to put a little leverage. So yeah, it looks like this one's going to need still a little more of this fun stuff here. But as you can tell, it's not really trying to not get all that stuff all over the boat, but good luck with that. So I was hoping that we'd have, once the bottom one came off, that this one too would come off right after it. But does not look like it, so it looks like we still got a little bit more work to do on this one. Okay, we'll report back in a little bit. Okay, so we finally got the screwdriver like right underneath here, and it kind of finally came apart. Wow. That stuff is on there good. So yeah, this will be entertaining. Get it cleaned up. Luckily, we're putting another clutch just like it on top of it. So, but yeah, yeah, hurrah for either 52 or 4200 because this stuff was on there super good. Okay, so the next step is to figure out if the front line organizer has the same crap on it. I sure hope not. Okay, awesome. Thanks. So for our next trick, we're going to take the line organizer out. I think we're going to have the same nonsense here. I can tell by just how hard it is to get the screws out. So these bolts, you can see, are covered in, I'm assuming, again, either 42 or 5200. Okay, here we are. I've taken my jacket off, still working these stupid bolts. I'm a little concerned that this one's going to be quite a bear to get off. Mainly because, as I said before, there's no ridges, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's like, man. Also, well worth noting that the minute these bolts come off, basically all the components inside also want to kind of go for a walk at the same time. So trying to see if there's any way we can put a little leverage on here to it's on there really good. So yikes. Okay, so we're going to come back here in a little bit and try to figure out how we're going to take this thing off. Awesome. Okay, so we are having a bit of a tough time with this, so there's not much room. So we're going to try the old cheese wire method. And so I've been spraying it with the Debond. So the trick is, can we slice it around this way? Just ever so slowly work our way back. And yes, up until it breaks. But we were actually getting somewhere, so that's kind of good news. So we finally got the thing off, the line organizer. It took my little guitar wire cheese cutter, whatever you want to call it, breaking to finally say, to heck with it. And basically, I kind of jammed this underneath and kind of just started prying, and all of a sudden the whole thing popped up, and life is good. The actual using the guitar string is really what made this work, because we were actually able to get quite a ways in here before we got the actual putty knife in there. So yeah, good news. This is off. I don't have to worry too much about getting this super clean, because let's face it, the other one's the exact same footprint. We will kind of try to clean it up a little bit. Word to the wise, we did find out that the actual sheaves, the ball bearings are not captured. So when we pulled the sheaves out of here, we had ball bearings going everywhere. So that was very amusing. So yeah, be careful if you decide ever to do this, that when you take the screws out, that you keep the sheaves kind of captured in there so you don't have the same issue that we had. And also when we put the 4-1 on, that's going to be especially important, because then we have 4 sheaves, and we have been basically on this massive ball bearing hunt around our garage right now. So anyway, cool. So that kind of ends that little story. So now we're just going to put the new hardware on, and then we'll take the furler off and we'll start working on that. Awesome. Okay, so let's start our install process. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install the new triple spinlock clutches, which happen to be the exact same clutch that I had previously as a double. So the good news is the hole pattern should be the same. So I went online and found a diagram for the mount and the installation of the spinlock clutches. So it looks like the holes are about 25 millimeters apart. So I took this piece of wood over to the drill press, 25 millimeters apart, put a bolt in them. And the plan is I'm going to go ahead and basically take one out, since those 2 holes will already be on the top of the coach roof. I can place them in the correct position and then know exactly where I can drill the 3rd hole. So in theory, that should work. We'll see how practice actually works out. So next step is to take this up to the top of the boat, grab a drill, hope for the best. Awesome. Okay, Kathy has done a very nice job using the debond stuff to get most of the garbage out of the way. And I went ahead and re-drilled the holes. So now the big trick is it going to work? How well did our Seaward friends drill the holes the first time around? Because it's not a whole lot of wiggle room, that's for sure. So about to find out. Let me grab my template and we'll start drilling some holes. Awesome. Okay, so I have my little template here. So we'll see real quick how they fit. So I think looks like they fit well enough to where you can screw them in. And so hopefully that will locate the hole in the exact right location. As the saying goes, about to find out. So, well, there's, so I'm going to get these as tightly in as possible, because even right now there's a little wiggle room. And unfortunately, we don't really have much ability to absorb really any wiggle room, is what we found out. This is actually my second template, because the first template, we had a couple of that were just slightly off. Okay, so now this is fairly good. Okay, but that definitely is not going anywhere. So I have my 1/4-inch bit. And here goes nothing. Okay. Now, real quick, we'll grab a vacuum cleaner. And we'll back these out. So, okay, so we'll jump to the next one. We'll be back in a sec. Okay, so our next step is we got to basically get our deck hardware on. And this is a bunch of butyl tape that goes a long way. So we're going to bet our head deck hardware is butyl tape instead of 5200 or 4200. That way, if you ever have to take it off, it'll be a little easier. This kind of remains flexible, pretty well kind of a standard in doing this kind of stuff, so it's nothing unusual. So, but yeah, so we'll basically kind of get this, go ahead and peeled out and lay it around. And then as we tighten it, a bunch of it will start squeezing out. And it might take a little bit for it to quit squeezing out, but that's okay. Again, it's still better than gluing it down effectively with 4200 or 5200. So, okay, anyway, let's get it done. Awesome. So basically, I bought this at Amazon, and a little of the stuff goes a long way. So what we're going to try to do is also make sure it wraps around some of these screw holes too. So let's have a look at how we're going to do this. So I'm thinking that maybe we need to kind of go across here. So we'll start getting that laid out that direction first, so you can see how much we really need. So basically at this point in time, trying to get at least a little bit of a wrap on the screws, just so some of it just will go down there. I don't necessarily think there's going to be any water that is going to be able to get past this, as an intrude past this, but we'll see. So that one's kind of done. That's it's not a beauty show or beauty pageant. It's just making sure that we have the item sealed to the deck. And last but not least is this guy right here. Okay, so see how it goes. Time to transfer this back up to on the deck.
We're chewing gum.
So where my beautiful wife will grab the camera and finish this up there. Awesome. We'll take our safety nuts off the bottom here, and then we'll shove it through there and we'll see what happens. There should be no issue since it was the exact same thing that came off of it. So I think right there, right there. Okay, had to go get a screwdriver. Thanks to my beautiful wife for doing that for me. Well, it's just a little hard. What is this? Going through an old 5200, I'm sure. Okay, so it took grabbing the wrench out here. The ratchet wrench was a Phillips bit to get these to come down. So I guess I should have cleaned that hole out ahead of time. But good news, it's down. As you can see, I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's a bunch of this stuff that's being squeezed out right now. That's kind of to be expected. So we will most likely come back in a little bit and tighten this down a little bit more. And then we'll start trimming the stuff off. In the meantime, let's go back a bit and we will go ahead and put in the new clutch. Awesome. Okay, so let's see how this works. So we're gonna go ahead and put it in the holes. I did test with them. I'm gonna bring this back just a little bit. So they should go in. See how it goes. So now it's just a question of hoping that these guys will actually screw in and see what happens. So far, so good. Two of them are all the way down. Let's see this middle one. It's going to go all the way down. Okay. They look like they're in. So we're going to bring these clutches back a little bit just so I can get a screwdriver in and see how these go. So I'm going to have to say that these actually look like they decided to go in without too many problems, which is good news. So, okay, so I think what needs to happen now is we're going to have to get these down between the outside and the inside. So we'll get the ratchet, do that real quick, and then we'll report back. Awesome. Okay, good news. We've got the clutch in and we've got the deck line organizer in too. As you can tell, some of that material has squeezed out. I'm going to let it sit overnight before I get too carried away, and then I'll just go grab an X-Acto knife and kind of cut around it. There's a good chance that it's going to be coming out for a little bit, but it's all good, not a problem. So yeah, so I think that concludes this particular video. I think next will be the whole furler, and that most likely is a video all in itself. So hope you enjoyed this particular video. If you did, please give me a like down below. And if you're interested in watching similar type material, please go ahead and subscribe. Until next time, bye-bye. This video, hit subscribe and give us a big like down below. Thanks for watching.